ourselves, that means we're talking about what?
We're talking about inside ourselves.
Soul.
We're talking about soul.
Brain,
We're talking about mind.
mind, and
Talking about
body.
body. So body, mind and soul. So when we say body, mind and soul, that means we are talking about human. A human is composed of body, mind and soul. If there is only body, there is no soul,
Yeah.
we call that, what do we call that?
Dead body.
It's a dead body. Dead body is a corpse.
Yeah.
Right, it's a corpse. So if there is a body but there is no soul, it is a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
If it is a soul but there is no body,
That means it is
bodiless soul. Bodiless soul is like a ghost. It's like a spirit. It's like an angel. So that means it is not human. So when we talk about human, it must be body, mind, and soul. So the body is made up of
skin.
Cell. Organ.
cell.
Bukan tanah, but cell.
Basically, the body is made up of trillions of cells.
Yep.
So the one that is living is actually the cell. Right? The cell group themselves together. The similar cell group themselves together, it become organ.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So organ is just a name. For example, liver,
Yeah.
lung, heart. It's just a name. Basically, it is composed of cells, trillions of cells.
Yeah.
Similar cells, they group together, and we call them organ. And then the organ, they group together, it become a system.
And then baru become the full body.
Yeah.
Become a system. And then the system group the whole thing together, then it become the whole body. We want to break it down. Body made up of system, made up of organs, and made up of cell. If you examine very closely, it is the cell that is living.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So every day, the cells, there are millions of cells that die, and millions of cells that are born. New cells are born. Okay. So every day you experience death and experience birth. Experience birth.
So the cell grew.
What's the purpose of this organ and the system and the body? The purpose of the cells forming organs and forming into parts of the body and the whole body is basically to serve the cell.
Yes.
To serve the cell. For example, if you look at our hand, there are a lot of things happening in the hand that it is not within our control.
Banyak gila.
Banyak gila. So the blood circulation, the skin formation, the death of the cell, the birth of the new cells, and then the oxygen that goes in, carried by the blood, all the vitamins, the nutrients, everything that happen in the system,
Kita control.
you cannot control. But at the same time, we say this is our body, this is our hand. But the problem is we cannot control. Of course, when something happens to the hand, there's a cut,
Yeah.
then only we look at it. We look at it and then we try to assist. Kita assist by putting medicine.
Yeah.
If there is no problem about the hand, we also don't bother to look at the hand. That means we are not conscious of the hand. When there is only something wrong to the hand, then only we become conscious. We become aware, become conscious. You're not aware of
Apa yang terjadi.
apa terjadi. Even your own breathing. Only when you focus, you want to be aware of the breathing, then only you are aware of the breathing. Or else, you're not aware of the breathing. We want to be conscious of what is happening around us, especially our own body. We try to be conscious. Try to be conscious. All these body parts, they work very diligently, very faithfully. The system, all the system in the body, they work very faithfully without fail. So why they have to do that? Because they have to serve ourselves, the self. So for example, the hand, they have to work diligently to make sure everything is perfect, because the hand want to serve the master. The master is the self.
Kita misal.
The self. For example, if you want to use the hand, then the hand must be in good condition. Then only we can use the hand. If the hand is not in good condition, then it cannot serve us. The hand cannot serve us. Right? And then the best part is not only the hand that is serving us. It's the whole universe. The whole system. Even the rain. The rain come down and then from water, and then the body needs water. Our body has relationship with the rain, with the water, with the cloud, with the sea, with the river, with all the water. Our body has the relationship. And then our body also has a relationship with the earth, with the trees, with the plants. Right. So that means the whole world, our body has a relationship. So that means we cannot ignore. We cannot ignore our body. We cannot ignore the whole world. What do I mean by ignore? We must be aware of the relationship. We cannot destroy. Right? Just like our body, we cannot destroy our body. We cannot destroy the world. Because the whole world and the whole body has relationship to the self. Because the whole world and the whole body is supposed to serve us. So we cannot destroy. For example, people are destroying the body. How do they destroy the body? Eat bad stuff. Eat the stuff like drinking alcohol, for example.
And doing drugs.
Doing drugs. This all will damage the body. Damage the body system. And then not only that, there are a lot of other things people are doing, human beings are doing to each other that actually destroying our body. So there are many things. So in life, you have to be aware. So far, we don't want to be aware. We just take things for granted. But now, today, we're just telling ourselves that we have to be aware of our body and our relationship, the trees, with the plants, with the earth, with the nature, right? So we have to be aware because of the relationship, and we want to establish that relationship because the nature is serving human being. So how do you want to be aware? Just now I said if you want to be aware, what do you do?
Aware tu memang kita kena think all the time lah, bukan
You have to be aware. For example,
Anything.
are you aware that you are sitting in this chair and just moving like that? Are you aware? Are you aware or not? Not aware. So now you are aware.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you are aware?
Stop.
See? That's very simple. So there are a lot of things that we do in our day-to-day life. Actually, we are not aware. Why we are not aware? Because of subconscious mind can do the job. It's not the conscious mind. For example, dia punya personality is suka like to lie. So when you do it every day, you become subconscious. You're not aware that you are actually lying. You're not aware until somebody tell you, "Hey, you've been lying so much." Until somebody tell you, then you become, "Oh, you're the." Right? So what I'm saying is, we don't want to wait for people to tell us. Please be aware. We want to be aware ourselves. So when we want to be aware ourselves, you practice every day that when you do your work, yes, I'm aware that I'm now doing my work. When you are in the class, yes, I'm aware that I'm now in the class. So you become aware of what you're doing, activity around you. In the class, when you're walking, when naik bicycle, like what you're doing now, you must be aware. So when you're aware, you do not do
Anymore.
any stupid things because you are aware. The problem becomes when you are not aware. And then the problem is when you are not aware, you do things without awareness. Sometimes you can create conflicts with people. When you create conflicts,
What is
conflicts, misunderstanding. Sometimes when people talk to you, you're not listening. Okay, you're not listening because you're not aware, because your mind is somewhere else. Then when you're not listening, you do not know what the other person talk about. When you don't know what other person talk about, so when you do something that is against what the person don't want you to do, then it become problem. No? I told you don't do it. Why did you do it? I told you yesterday I was talking to you. For example, I was talking to you yesterday. I said don't do it. Don't go to that place. Why did you go? Because you were not listening. You're not aware. So this is conflict, misunderstanding. So you can have misunderstanding with many people, with your teachers, with your friends, with your parents, also misunderstanding.
Nanti disuruh sinar baju, kita put the baju dalam the bakul pula.
Because the body is so conditioned every day to do your activity every day without consciousness. And it's so used to it. So now you need to practice yourself so that you become aware every time you do the activity that you do. Okay, can we do that or not?
We're not gonna practice it.
Can I practice?
I think.
No, you don't have to think. You just, because being aware, you don't have to think. For example, okay, now I want you to be aware of yourself, what you're doing. You are sitting here. Do you have to think?
No.
You don't have to think. You just split second of the mind here, change. Yes, I'm aware. Or you just tell yourself, I want to be aware. That means in life, Allah Ta'ala does not make it difficult in life. So it is we ourselves make our life difficult.
Yeah.
So the problem when you make your life difficult, when there is conflict, there will be sorrow. right? Sorrow.
What is sorrow?
Sorrow like bad things.
Sorrow is
Sad.
sadness.
Oh, yeah.
For example, when you have conflict with a friend, then you have a fight with your friend, and then you won't be talking to each other for 1 week or so, and then within that 1 week you'll be sorrow. You're thinking, why am I doing so sorrow? When sorrow come, then it will affect your other work, your other activities. It will affect your study. When sorrow come, it will affect your study. It will sometimes some people when they are sorrow, they will damage they will when they walk. For example, they walk, they simply take the tree and then they ambil batu ke they throw at the dog or at the cat ke, to release the tension kan.
So good sangat lah.
Not so good lah because of the sorrow. So a lot of things will be affected when you are in sorrow. But just because you have conflict, just because you have conflict. And why you have conflict? Because you have a misunderstanding. Why you have misunderstanding? Because you're not aware of what's happening.
Awareness is very important.
What?
Awareness is very important.
Awareness or consciousness. You want to be aware of what is of your body and also of what is happening around you. For example, if you are studying, you must be aware that you are studying. If you are praying, you must be aware that you are praying. Or else your prayer will be like a robot. If you are, for example, doing mechanical work, repairing something, you have to be aware. Because if you are not, then you can hurt yourself.
Nanti kita like, buat apa? Terus tiba-tiba kita bang in our own face.
You can hurt yourself. So these are the things that we have. Let's be aware of this.